Welcome back to another video. It is Sunday evening. It is 7 p.m. and I'm only now in the gym. I have had the laziest Sunday of my life today, and I'm actually not mad about it. So I've had an amazing few days, which I'll go through in a sec. But yeah, today I literally didn't wake up until gone 10. So last night was WrestleMania. My boyfriend, for anyone that doesn't know, is a professional wrestler, so he stayed up and watched that. I, of course, did not. I went to bed. I was actually in bed at like 9 o'clock last night. But because he was up and Zuko was kind of all over the place, I didn't actually really fall to sleep until nearly 1. Like I was kind of in and out of sleep. So ended up not waking up until like 10. And I realized I hadn't heard Zuko, because Zuko, our dog, normally wakes us up for breakfast between like 7:30 and 8, like without failure. If we're not up, he will wake us up. And I wondered if maybe I was just so tired I didn't hear him. My boyfriend got up and fed him, because usually he's the one that feeds him on the weekend. No, my dog even had a lay-in. I think because he wasn't really sleeping through the night like he normally does, because my boyfriend was still up. He had a massive lay-in, so I had a massive lay-in. And yeah, I got up and it was like gone 10 when I got up, which is lovely because I slept really well. But then I did also get back in bed like an hour or so later and had another nap, which not ideal. But my plan today was to actually get everything done in good time, obviously. I didn't have a super busy work day because I was away yesterday and I left Friday night. I made sure to get really ahead on everything. So I've actually had like, other than like basic replies, sending out nutrition check-in email, I haven't had loads to do today. So in my head, I was like, right, I can get up, like shower, get ready for the day, whatever, get all my work done, go on a nice long dog walk and get in the gym for like 2, 3-ish. It's 7 p.m. That didn't happen. But it has been a lovely day and I definitely needed more of like just a chilled Sunday, to be honest, and I'm feeling really good for it. The last couple of days, I'm so proud of myself for the last couple of days. So not much really makes me nervous or bothers me anymore. Like I'm very confident in what I do, I'm very confident in who I am type thing. And that's definitely not always been the case. Like even a couple of years ago, like I would say with coaching especially, imposter syndrome, confidence and stuff is something I struggled with for a really, really long time. Not at all anymore, like at all. But basically, Friday I joined an online Zoom call for British Powerlifting, like an open members forum, which was to do with the new coaching license requirements that are coming in next year. So they put on an open member forum for members to go and join and kind of express their thoughts, concerns and stuff like that. And a few weeks ago on my Instagram, I put up a question box just to kind of start a bit of discussion around the new requirements that are coming in, which I won't go into in too much detail, but if anyone isn't sure what's kind of going on, obviously just feel free to leave a comment or whatever, and I can break it down in another video. But basically, I collated all of the responses I got, and I probably spoke to like 40 to 50 people about this. Not even just in responses in the like actual messaging back and forward, like so many people, and I collated everything. And so in this members forum the other day, they were like, oh, who wants to speak first on the topic? Because it was like the board members and then a few actual like members of the federation. I spoke first, which sounds silly. And in the moment, I literally didn't think anything of it. Like I was like, oh yeah, I'll happily go first and get some of the stuff I've been sent in across. And then it wasn't until after the call, I was like, I wouldn't have been able to do that a couple of years ago. Like I would have been terrified a couple of years ago to do that. And I did it without even questioning it. So I was really proud of myself on that, which probably sounds quite silly, but just to like have the confidence to kind of speak up in a meeting like that, like, again, I wouldn't have had that a few years ago. I wouldn't have had that a few years ago. So firstly that, and the fact that it was just like, didn't even question it. And then Saturday, so I was in Cheltenham, I think it's Cheltenham, which is like a 4-hour drive from me Saturday. I went to a coaching forum and there was a group of us, I think it was about 10 of us roughly that went to this coaching forum. And it was just like a really nice day of just talking about different aspects of our services, coaching, things we struggle with, and all of us like sharing how we do things, how we organize things, how we work. And it was like a full day thing of it. And it was really just refreshing. And again, a couple of years ago, I probably would have been really quiet in that room full of people. And I wasn't. Like, I felt confident in talking about everything that I do, everything that I offer, how my services work. Like, obviously I'm proud of how I coach people and I know that what I'm doing is good and I'm offering an amazing service to the people that work with me. But like 2 years ago, I wouldn't have had the confidence to probably even turn up to this thing. And I was there and I was vocal about what I'm doing and I was joining in the discussions and the back and forths. And like, it wasn't again until after I left and I reflected on it. I was like, no, I'm actually really proud of that. Like I spent a night away to go to this coaching conference, like forum type thing with, I mean, it was an amazing group of people anyway. So it was like a completely like almost like safe environment to just talk about things. But like, I wouldn't have had the confidence to probably do that a few years ago. I probably would, like 2 years ago me, I think I would have, 4 years ago me, wouldn't have been there. 2 years ago me would have probably forced myself to go but been very much in my shell, not wanting to speak. Whereas I was there and I was confident and I was happy with what I was talking through. And like, I took a moment to just kind of reflect on it and I just felt really proud of myself. So basically, I've had a really good couple of days and I'm just like really proud of like kind of the coach I've become. Like I've always felt confident in what I'm doing, but to actually have the confidence to go and kind of speak it through was just something I was really proud of. And yeah, very, very nice, just good couple of days where I think reflecting on how I would have been in these situations, like I wouldn't have thought anything of this weekend if I hadn't just suddenly had this moment where I was like, you would never have done that a few years ago. And it was just a really nice feeling. So yeah, it's been a really nice few days. And today is also a good day because it's my first primary SBD of my peak. Now, primary deadlifts with a question mark, because if you haven't watched my previous video, we've brought conventional back because sumo last week for this session was terrible. This session last week, massive crash out, terrible day, literally cried after the session, not good times. But we are on week 1 of the peak and I refuse to let myself, like the only thing that's going to hold me back from winning is this. Like, and I know that every single number my coach has given me throughout this peaking block, I am capable of. We both already know roughly where I should be ending on comp day, like other than maybe deadlifts, which is going to be a bit of a question mark, but still we know roughly where I should be ending. And he wouldn't say those numbers if he didn't truly think they were there and the data didn't support it. I wouldn't say those numbers, and to be honest, they're not numbers that I didn't think I was capable of 12 months ago, and I've consistently trained for the last 12 months, so there is no logical reason why I shouldn't be able to achieve everything that is written on this plan and everything that we've spoken about for comp day. So I am forgetting everything that happened last week. I am going into this with full confidence, and I am just going to commit to every single load written on my sheet. And I'm going to make everything move. We've got primary squats. So I've got a top single with the range of 170 to 175. The RP is capped at 6.5. We know what I'm going to load. I'm going to go the higher end of the range. I've squatted 175 for 6 before on a day that I remember it felt pretty terrible. So 175 at an RP 5 to 6 is my goal for today. I've then got a set of 3, a triple with an RP 5 to 6. I'm aiming for like 160-ish. This is something that I get to pick the load for, so I'll just kind of see warming up how I feel, but roughly 160 I think for that. And then I've got 2x5 at a set load of 140 on squats. Comp bench, we know, so my coach has given me the rough plan of what he would like me to hit a week out, which I'm not going to disclose. But if you look at my week 1 number, you can probably guess roughly what the jumps will be to that. So today I have got a top single on comp bench at an RP of 7. I've got my new Hyper Vs, so I'm really excited to have my feet in a slightly further forward position because I think that will make my whole leg drive and just positioning feel so much better. My butt will be staying down, and the number I've got planned for today is pretty comfortable. Anyway, there is no one else home, so I can't get press commands, which is what I like to do on my peaking block, but it's not the end of the world. I've done this enough times to know that I'll be fine. I then have a set of 4 at an RP of 7, and then I have 2x4 at a set load of 90 on bench. And then we just have ascending sumo. So there is not really any pressure on sumo. I've been watching back my sumo from British in December, and I think I've just gotten out of the habit of really hinging, and I've been starting with my hips too low, which is why last week's sumo went terribly wrong. So I'm going to just try and go back to that and stop overthinking it and overanalyzing it. And I'm committing, like I want my sumo to show up on comp day, and I would love to be able to pull sumo at comp. But I do have the backup of conventional, which to be fair, on Wednesday, my conventional did actually start higher than I thought it would. So the plan for sumo today is a triple at an RP of 3, a double at 4, a single at 5, and then another single at 5. So it's basically just a triple into a double into 2 singles. And I know roughly what loads I'm going to load for that. And we're just going to kind of go from there. And I just need to make sure the sumo is crisp. But it's nice just knowing mentally I have the backup of conventional if we need it. And then I've just got my rehab stuff basically after, which I know time-wise I'm going to hate myself for waiting this late to train because it is now 7:10 and I've just been talking and not started obviously, but that's fine. I'm not in a rush today and I've slept so much that I don't think I'll probably be able to go to sleep early tonight anyway. Only other thing to really update you guys on in terms of training is body weight. So I did my best this week. I actually didn't do my best this week. Monday to Thursday, locked in, perfect. 2,400 calories each day, exactly as they needed to be. Macro ranges exactly where they needed to be. Fiber was decent. Friday, I went a little bit over, mostly because we got through all the Easter chocolate and I was really good about tracking it, fitting it in, whatever. And then my boyfriend stocked up on some more chocolate, which is fine. I love chocolate and I love him for buying it for me. However, that did then mean that my macros were a little bit skewed and I ended up going a little bit over because I also then got to the hotel Friday night and they had some free biscuits, which I wasn't going to turn down. So I did have some biscuits at the hotel. So basically, I think Friday my calories were like 2,700 because I did track everything I had. And then yesterday, speaking of the chocolate just arriving in my house, I left Friday night for this coaching forum. So I took all the food I would need for Saturday, and then I just saved dinner for when I got home because I knew I'd be home between 7 and like 7:30-ish. So I was great during the day. I stuck to what I took with me. They had pizza for lunch there, didn't join in. Stuck to what I knew I needed to be able to hit my macros. And then I got home and I was so tired from the drive. I only stopped once on the drive, and it was literally for a really quick wee break. Like, I probably could have just done the whole drive in one go, but like I was getting so tired behind the wheel because it was basically just like a straight road most of the ride. Like it was a super easy drive, but it's just one of those drives where like, because you're not really having to think too much, you can get quite tired behind the wheel, which obviously not good. So basically when I got home, I was really tired, and rather than having the food that was in the fridge prepped that I had tracked, my mum made us at Christmas some frozen sausage rolls, some sausage rolls that we froze to then cook up at some point, and I realised we hadn't cooked them yet, and I was like, they're going to go off if we don't eat them soon. So I may have cooked those up when I got home, and had a couple of like mini sausage rolls, and then my boyfriend had also bought me a massive I say massive, like one of the £2.50 Biscoff Cadbury bars, and I was like, I'll just have a row and I'll have a couple of sausage rolls and I'll be done. And I ate the entire chocolate bar in one go, which is fine, but I think calorie wise, I probably, like rough estimate, 3,200 yesterday. And I'm saying this all because my body weight today was still only 85.9 after 2 days of going over. So body weight is absolutely cruising. I can gut cut from here and literally do like a mini, either one hot bath or just like a super warm shower, spit a little bit and make weight. Like if I had to make weight for this weekend now coming, I could do it easily. So we are in a really good spot. I've got my nutrition check-in tomorrow. I filled in my form today. So I'll see what my coach says about calories. But I did say to her, I was like, I've got nothing else in terms of travel planned between now and comp. The only travel I'll be doing is to comp. So there is no excuse for me to not just lock in and get all my food in as it should be. Like I feel so good on these calories. Like I said to her, I'm not having cravings and stuff. Like I'm eating the chocolate in the house because it's in the house. I have asked my boyfriend to maybe not buy it now until like comp season is done. Oh my God, that reminds me, I've been invited to Euros for bench. So bench Euros invites came through. There is more news. This is a really long talking segment. I'm so sorry. Bench Euros. I have been formally invited to compete in the under 84s 4GB at Euros. I think it's beginning of August in Lithuania. I think that's correct. I'm giving myself one more day to just kind of think on it. The invite came through yesterday. 99% sure I'm just going to go for it. I have been feeling a bit of dread around doing bench worlds because of how badly bench went at bench nationals. But I got a message she's actually an ex-client, an ex-nutrition client, but like she's so lovely. And I woke up, I don't know if she's going to watch this, but I woke up to a really long message from her about the fact that like quite clearly it's knocked my confidence. But how bench nationals went, she's like, but you still got a spot on bench on like the world's team with your bad day. So like that should be enough to kind of boost my confidence. And like this message from her was almost just like exactly what I needed to hear, especially after getting that invite through when I was kind of unsure. So I'm probably going to be doing that as well. I'm going to give myself another day. So in the next video, I'll confirm for sure if I'm going to do it, but we might have another international coming up. So I need to stay on top of body weight. But I still think post worlds, I might do a little bit of a cut into the class anyway, but we'll just kind of see. But this 2,400 calorie range is actually so good for me. Like I'm getting more than enough food in. I have scope to fit in things that I really enjoy, and I'm not hungry, which means the cravings are super low. Like I'm just kind of cruising on these. And now with like, I've got no social meals planned. I'm not going to plan any now until probably after bench worlds, just to kind of keep myself completely accountable. Obviously, like I'll still hang out with people and see friends, but just not involving food. And I just think I'll be in a really good spot now to just fully lock in. And I actually said to my nutrition coach, kind of rolling this back, I think 2,400 calories with me committing to like 11, 12K steps a day, which until I was away this weekend, I was doing pretty easily, that I will probably end up losing weight this week just based off of doing that. So intrigued to see how we go. But basically everything is in a good spot. And I'm actually feeling excited to push into comp. Like I am very self-aware that it's my mind that's going to hold me back this time. It's not my strength. My body is healthy. My body is strong. It's just going to be confidence. So I need to just stay in check of my mentals, basically, which I will. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to get this session done. That was a lot of ramble.
Okay. see across the room, X marked on the spot, everybody tryna zoom. This is casual, another night with the wolves, but how she be dealing with them? She's a damn professional. Making plays for, don't need to be told, yeah she knows. Got these fellas down bad and everybody else mad. Adrenaline rush, leaving them in the dust, now they converting the stands. The world is in her hands now, she's living in my head rent free. Burning through my long-term memory. Everybody racing in a Grand Prix. They know if they don't take a chance now, feeling stay woke, no sleep, running back real slow, was that a wing? She's cold as ice, sugar-coated lies with the honey trap eyes. She's dangerous, she's dancing with intention. She's got everyone's attention. She's dangerous. They wanna get a number on a roulette. Tryna find an opening, roll the dice, cold sweat running down my neck. She be on the next victim, get caught in a web. Got these fellas spending all they got left. She be keeping the score like a follow ratio. Got these fellas praying to the Lord for a glimpse of any hope. She bad, she broke, straight unpredictable, straight irresistible. She got me in a slow. She's living in my head rent free, burning through my long-term memory. Everybody racing in a Grand Prix. They know if they don't take a chance now, feeling stay woke, no sleep, running back real slow, was that a wing? She's cold as ice, sugar-coated lies with the honey trap eyes. She's dangerous, she's dancing with intent.
Okay, so it is 9:05 and I still have my rehab stuff to do, but that will literally take me like 10-15 minutes to rush through. Not rush, I'll do it properly, but you get what I mean. Very happy, like completely different mood to this session last week. I don't know where to start. Squats felt good. I mean, my 175 single was maybe, it wasn't harder than I wanted it to be, but it just wasn't super quick. But I said this before, I said this last week, like my squats aren't ever super quick. And actually I went heavier on the triple after because I felt really good after the 175. So I did 162 for my triple rather than 160. And that was an undershoot as well. Like, well, it was 5 to 6 target upper. It was a 5, like at most. And actually watching it back, the 162 wasn't really any slower than the 175. It was just, because it was a single, I overthought it, and I have a habit of doing that when it's singles. So I'm actually super happy with how squats move, and I'm trying to be like really positive with how I view it, because realistically, like, it was less than a 6. Like, it was less than a 6, and the cap was a 6.5. Like, I could have repped that 5-6 more times. Like, give me spotters both side, gun to head. I could have done that for a set of 6 or 7. Like, and I know that for certain. So I need to just remember like kind of who I am and what I can do when it comes to squatting. Like when I think back, the best example I have, which if I remember, I'll put it on the screen, was the day I squatted 185 for a set of 4. The first rep looked like max effort and I still got 3 more. So when I'm gauging how many reps I have left and how much weight I have left on the bar, I kind of need to remember like that I am her, if that makes sense. That sounds really corny, but like that I can do that and I can do hard things, especially on squats. Like squatting, grinding squats out is kind of my thing. And I just need to remember that. So I'm happy with the 175. It's a very high starting point for my peaking block. I will point out, like, I'm not going to go through the whole plan or anything right now, but it is a pretty high starting point. But I trust my coach and I trust my body and I know I can do it. I've also arranged to go to a gym for my 1 week out SBD. So I'm going to go to a powerlifting gym with a few friends and I'm going to just make sure I'm in a safe environment so that the number that I have to load up on that day for squats isn't going to terrify me, and I know I can execute it really well with people around me. And also it does mean, because I have been training alone at home a lot, well, constantly, like I haven't really trained in a gym for a while other than obviously my accessories, but like I haven't done SBD in a powerlifting gym or in any gym apart from my garage, I think since British. So I probably need to just expose myself, because sometimes when I get in the hermit mode with training, I do then struggle to then go and lift and kind of focus on lifting when there's so many people around. Not in like a, oh my God, there's people watching me, I'm nervous. Just in like a, oh my God, there's so many people around, I'm so overstimulated right now. So I need to kind of get myself to go to the gym to kind of get past that as well. But we're in a really good spot basically with squats. Bench, I was pretty happy with. Had my feet further forwards. The mat that I use at home is super slippy. When I first brought it and I first started using it with my Avancus, my feet were slipping all over the place. That's partly why I brought my feet a little bit further back with the Avancus. Partly also when my butt started lifting at British Bench, I did trial having my feet further back because that has been a fix for me in the past. But with the Hyper-V's, if my feet stay stuck when they're further forwards on this mat, which they did, I have no reason I need to bring my feet back, and I can keep my bum down without having to super arch my lower back, which is a massive win. So very happy with that. And I also know that if I do have to transition back to having my feet further back, if like the comp carpet is even slipperier than this mat, then that's also fine. But yeah, starting with 112, not mad at it. The unrack didn't feel super comfortable. I think I'm gonna get my boyfriend out to do my lift off the next couple of weeks if he is home. But I don't actually think he is here next weekend. I don't actually know. We don't align our schedules. But I know I'm fine and like whatever. So yeah, 112 starting point, pretty happy with. Not entirely sure what we'll end up loading next week or the week after, but again, that's a fairly high starting point. I wouldn't say it's like a scary starting point. I think it's just a reasonably high starting point, but I'm so much stronger than I've ever been on bench, and I need to remember that going in, and that's kind of what I was reminding myself. But the 112 felt super comfortable. The 102.5 set of 4 was like an RPE5. Like I literally could have just kept going. Like that was so comfortable, which I know I'm capable of repping that, but like for a week 1, that was a really good starting point. Very happy with that. I did also have some lighter sets on squats and bench that I didn't film, but we won't go through them. Like they were super light and comfortable. Sumo. Let's talk about sumo. So last week I failed 175 twice, and I was really annoyed with myself. So I went back and watched my sumo from British, because at British last year I hadn't been pulling sumo very long, and I pulled 175 for my opener and it flew, pulled 185 for my second and it flew, and I missed 192.5. I couldn't break the floor because the bar kind of shifted away from me and I couldn't maintain that, and I wasn't used to kind of maintaining my position as things got heavier. So I went back and I was like, right, my sumo is not as strong as it was at last British, except I know that it is. Something's just changed with my technique, and I know exactly what it is. And actually watching the videos back the other day kind of confirmed for me my theory. Doing conventional Wednesday also confirmed to me my theory, and then today 100% solidified it. So basically, with my hamstring issue, hinging, painful. Now, I will say my hamstring today has felt a little bit tender, but I think that's just from lots of car drive, like long journeys and stuff over the last few weekends, kind of catching up with me, but that's fine because that's now not going to be a problem. I've basically stopped hinging into my sumo and fully been squatting down into it, which I kind of knew I was doing it, but I also kind of was in denial, and I was like, no, I'm just really good at wedging into the bar, it's fine. No, I had just been getting into a stupidly low start point that I couldn't replicate that top end, which I know that, and it's stupid, and I should have kind of known that, whatever. So tonight I focused on hinging down, higher hip starting point, wedging into the bar then. Felt incredible. Like sumo felt incredible tonight. And if I can replicate that for the next few weeks, we could still pull sumo team. Like after comp, I'm keeping sumo in because I do believe it's the stronger version for me. I think while my hamstring was healing and when it was at its absolute worst, I remember like this fear that my hamstring was going to almost tear as I was doing sumo. And I think while I've been obviously like pulling things back and things have been lighter to let my hamstring heal, I've also been just avoiding that hinging pattern, and I needed to bring it back in. Hope that makes sense. So when I was conventional pulling on Wednesday, I remember as I was leaning down, like feeling my hinge, I was like, oh, that's such a nice feeling, like feeling that hinge. And then I had this thing in my head and I was like, you've not been doing that with sumo. Like, what are you doing? So I knew today I had to try all that, and it felt great. I did 120 for my first warm-up, jumped straight to 140 for a triple, super comfortable. It was literally target RPE3, which obviously gauging an RPE3 is impossible. It essentially just means this should be crazy light. And it was, and I was so confident after it that I was like, you know what, I was going to do 140, 150, 160, and then do my 2 singles at 160. But I did 140 for the triple, 152 for the double, and that felt so good. I was like, right, I'm doing 165 for both singles because I know if I commit to this, I can pull sumo at comp, and I will, pull a PB. So I'm really happy with how that all went, actually. I need to quickly do my rehab stuff. I'm just going to kind of blitz through that, to be honest, because it is getting late. It's like, it's gone 9 and I need to walk the dog still and have dinner. But it's fine. It's my own fault for being lazy this morning. I think once comps are done as well, by comps I mean bench worlds, because I think post All Englands, we're going to have to shuffle my days around so that things line up for bench worlds anyway, because it's like a 2.5 week turnaround, and I think I compete on the Thursday. But post bench worlds, I think going to speak to my coach about shifting my days around and not training on a Sunday anymore, because as much as I love training on a Sunday because it gives me a Saturday that's like totally free of powerlifting, I am training so late every week and it's just ridiculous. Especially today, like my session took me about 2 hours today or just under, but I was timing my rest breaks to try and make them longer because I'm in a 14 women of lighter comp. So I'm used to resting for like 90 seconds between everything, which is just because my brain goes 100 miles an hour and I want to just go. So today I challenged myself to do like 3 minutes rest between sets. But obviously as I get closer to comp, I'm probably gonna have to increase that to like 5-6-ish for the heavy stuff. So I need to train earlier, otherwise I'm gonna be out here for ages. So yeah, Anyway, let's wrap the video up here because we're ending on a high note. I'm feeling good. I'm 3 weeks out today, and yeah, everything's where it needs to be. I'm in a really happy position. The highlight is definitely how good sumo felt. Like, it was a little bit, not slow off the floor with the 165, but like tiny bit of work, but nothing I'm concerned about. And also it's like the heaviest I've been going for ages. So very happy. Like, I think this is a very solid week 1, and I'm setting myself up for success. I'm very aware that the only thing, as I said earlier, holding me back right now is my mind. And so if I can just keep on top of that and just keep this positivity, then all will be fine. And I will keep it because I know I'm capable of a very big total, and it's about time it kind of comes together. So just going to keep going. And like I say, I've set myself up for success on my 1 week out SBD because I'm going to be in an environment with people I trust spotting me. And I also set the safeties for squats today, to be fair, to just start trialing where I would need them if I was potentially going to have to rely on them. And actually, I think I found where I need them to be, because I did catch them on the triple. That was one thing. On my 162 triple, I did catch the safeties on the second rep, but that's fine. Now I know I just need to lower them by 1. But we're in a good position. We're gonna have a good comp. I can feel it. It's about time. Anyway, thank you very much if you made it to the end. I really appreciate it. Please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in a few days for the next one.
She's got everyone's attention. She's dangerous. They wanna get a number on a Rolex, and they trying and trying their luck.